Alright fellas, we're back with my Pokemon Masters video. It's time for us to take a look here and see, should you go for Volo over the 6th anniversary sync pairs? Okay, not really that too clear cut. I mean, you could definitely say it is. Honestly, there's two sides of the argument. I wanted to look at this banner priority chart, which, not to put any flack on anyone, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Usually these have some relatively weird postings or placings, I guess, of characters, but this one honestly can't find really any flaw with it. I mean, these characters are all god tier. Kieran's really good. These guys are all really good as well, and the rates of this banner is really good too. I definitely see them being like the most valuable non 1% unit banner in the entire month. Carmine's no longer out. This was released obviously before she left, but she was really good too. Definitely extremely good to go for. And then there was a kind of a fall off here. Ray and Lacey, not that great. These guys, it really is going to depend on rates for a big part, but Bede and Nimona are not that crazy anymore. And Cynthia is not too crazy either, but she definitely has a better placing simply because of Volo existing. But anyway, this is more so about these guys, right? I would, for the most part, agree with this. After using Volo, though, I could definitely say you can make an easy argument for Volo above Eriott, which I think is mostly what people have been saying. It's like, oh, easy Gloria, then Red, and then Eriott, Volo kind of interplacing. I know a lot of people probably before Volo's release would probably say Eriott is a bit comfortably above Volo, like a slot above or something like that. You know, easily, just like a little bit better. I'm honestly of the opinion now, after using Volo, that he is probably just better than Eriott. That is to say, I guess, in a sense, Eriott being the worst of the units this month in terms of the 1% new EX Master Pairs, but that doesn't really matter considering she's still so good. And this video is mostly just serving to tell you, go for who you were going to go for before. It doesn't matter. Volo's release and him being used and, you know, everything that we can do and everything that has been shown about him, it's not that... it's pretty impactful. I mean, like, I definitely think Volo's a lot better than what I thought he was going to be. I really do think so. But it didn't do enough to where it's like, oh my god, he's the best unit in the game. He's better than Gloria and Red. Go for him. He's the number one or whatever, right? I don't think that's the case. And I definitely don't think, like, he shifted positions too much. But I definitely am a bit more impressed with him than what I initially thought. Again, kind of to, like, recap what we had said earlier in terms of, like, who's best to go for. Gloria as a new player is so strong. This character, I'll be honest with you, when Arc Suit Steven released, I was like, haha, funny, this guy's so good, this guy's so strong and fun to use. Gloria, I have made one video over, used her one time, I think with, was it with Volo? Who did I use Gloria with? I don't remember. I made a video that was somewhat recent and I used Gloria in it. And that was basically all I did with her. I could definitely make some more videos like with this character and the team she helps out if I want to, you know, get some views in. Not that I really have the time or just general interest, but like she is just so good. It's almost boring. She's just too strong, dude. This character is actually just absurd. I don't feel like rehashing everything I said about her. If you want to go see the video, go watch the overview video and showcase video I made for her to see why she's so good. And look in the grid as well. I mean, you've got this HP recovery stuff here. You got the trainer of NPR for that HP recovery, better debuffs, a little bit better free moves. Nexus isn't that impactful of a tile though. Oh my goodness, dude. Another trainer of NPR if you want this, which is not that crazy either, but it does exist. Her 4 to 5, or sorry, I think this is 5 to 5. Her 5 to 5 giving her extra this is stupid. Like, actually just completely stupid. More physical and special move break. Her supportive ability, oh my gosh. Crazy support. Red, big unga boonga, oh my gosh, damage dealer. Wants to just murder everything in his way, pretty much. Red is an easy character to use. Well, easy character to use, and a big part is that he's going to be so helpful with clearing like a lot of ultimate battles for a lot of newer players, especially if you can easily slot him into a lot of missions. Like, I think they're releasing a lot more missions that have to do with like champion, main character, stuff like that. Him being main character can definitely help out a little bit there in those type of events where you can get a few extra gems just by having like a main character or something on the team, because he's so strong. He hits through a lot of enemy gimmicks, and even if he doesn't hit through gimmicks, once you actually deactivate the enemy's gimmicks, they're just gone, eviscerated. It's insane. And not to mention, he does have a little bit of gimmick check himself, being able to set Dragon Zone for like a field effect. He's also able to set the physical move break, which basically accounts, I believe, for the most part, as like a status change or something similar to that. I think he can can he debuff defense? Yeah, he does it with this, right? Yeah. Lower 6 defense by 6 when the enemy does not have a sync buff, or when the team does not have, the user's team does not have a sync buff, which is a little rare to actually have up by the time you use this move, but whatever, it's not really the point. Point is that he's just stupid as a damage dealer. This buddy move is the single hardest hitting thing in the game, and he's got 2 of them. All right, he's got 2 of them. A very good AoE sync move as well, a decent AoE damaging move in the form of his Terra Blast. You know, he's busted. He's cracked as a damage dealer. And then you get to Eriott and Volo, which, again, a lot of people are probably going to go kind of in circles, I guess, with them, saying that they're one's above the other one's above the other, they're about equal, something like that, you know, that, which, I mean, makes plenty of sense. I do want to say that I think Volo is better. The damage he can do is just so damn strong, combined with his amazing ghost. Sorry. I wouldn't say his partners are typically amazing, being Renegade Cynthia and Summer Gardenia, but they are very good at their job of setting the zones. And of course, also with all the good ghost type units in the game, basically aside from like Summer Acerola and like Celine, like almost all of the top tier Sinnoh or ghost units are Sinnoh characters. You've got this variety Cynthia right here. You've got Summer Gardenia. You've got Costume Eriott. You've got Renegade Cynthia, right? Like these are all top tier ghost options. I mean, I cleared floor 30 with Renegade Cynthia, Summer Gardenia, and Volo, all at 3 out of 5 investment, right? So I mean, they are definitely a very competent core for a team. I did not think Volo's Shadow Force ability, I didn't really think about it too much, but I didn't think Volo's Shadow Force capabilities would be like so stupidly good with his ability to evade enemy attacks. But this is proven to make him able to solo like 3 ultimate battles, duo so many other ones, and then also be able to act as a tank. Combine this with the full first aid and the damage reduction ability he has from this, which again, the fact that all the good ghost units are Sinnoh, maxing this out. And also if you consider Jim Fantina with her Sinnoh defensive circle, adding extra buffs to the team with damage reduction and power-ups, Ghost has such a good cohesive core, especially if you are like, I'm not gonna say a free-to-play player, but like if you can get Jim Fantina and Volo, you've got a strong ghost setup just off of those 2, and then you're just really waiting for another ghost zone setter, whether that be Summer Gardenia, Renegade Cynthia, who's about to rerun, probably not with a good rate banner, but regardless, she is about to rerun. Celine, here she does have the 30% extension as well as the first hit for setting Ghost Zone. So she's got a few sets of basically a few sets of it there, and also on the field EX. I forgot they were sprint field actually, but either way, whatever. On the field EX there too. So she actually is an extremely good setter for Ghost Zone. So you can play around a lot with that, those ghost partners, depending on, you know, whichever one reruns or you're able to get first, or if they release a new one in, you know, a few months, maybe next month, considering that it is going to be fall. Not too likely, I would say, given that Volo is going to be lasting until like the middle of October and near end of October or something like that. So he's going to have a lot of good runtime during that whole spooky season, which makes sense why they would drop him now. But anyway, you know, Volo's got a lot of good, easily accessible partners. And just stupidly good damage, great utility, good healing, and I guess tanking by extension in a sense, if you want to say it like that. I'm not sure. A good nuke. This guy's kind of got like all of it. He's got it's just really good, and just a 3 out of 5. My Volo is 3 out of 5. 4 out of 5 makes it just stupid. He's got an 30% extension for Ghost Zone as well as physical and special moves up next. That's gonna make him look really, really strong just with that extra little bit of investment. On top of the extra tiles you'll be able to pick up because of the energy, you don't have to invest in it. And then 5 out of 5 with Adrenaline 3 can be really good too. Whatever. And then we move over to Eriott. Eriott, again, still really good. She's got very, very good partners in the form of Cygnus Roxy, wherever she is. Right there, Cygnus Roxy as well as Gita. These 2 are probably her most notable partners. Support being Atticus. Atticus can do some pretty good support. He's got a 20% damage buff here as well as poison rebuff, so he can definitely enhance Eriott a good bit. I do think poison overall, though, I'm not going to say it needs more help. It's not really what I don't really want to commit to saying that, especially because one thing that poison has over a lot of other types, basically every other type besides for maybe like sand teams, is the chip damage you can do with it. A lot of the reason I was able to even clear the poison tower to begin with was because of Potent Toxin 2 here on Eriott, Potent Toxin 2 here on Atticus, and I believe Gita has it too. I'm not sure if I did pick it up. Yeah, I did. I believe I did. I believe these are the grids that I ran for them on the Poison Tower run. The Potent Toxin plus the guaranteed bad poison you can do with Atticus is so stupid for a lot of the damage in a lot of fights that don't clear their poison. By the end of the tower run, I think Ethan took like 70,000 damage or something from poison. In a turn, not like at the total. It was in one turn, one action he took 70k HP or something like that from poison damage, which can add up so much over time, right? The whole reason the clear was even possible to begin with. And Eriott really helps to enhance that, and it helps to enhance a lot of the team she's doing because of her EX Poison Zone on top of this. This can do so much damage because of this, the special move Break, as well as do a lot of sync countdown. Yeah, -2 sync countdown when the team has a sync buff. This enables so much sync ramping and stuff, especially helpful in preserving EX Poison Zone if you don't want to take random, I call them junk actions, where you're basically just attacking to help accelerate sync countdown. You know, you don't have to go for these headbutts or these buddy moves or potions or whatever with Atticus. So you don't have to use Mortal Spin with Gita, whether you want to or not. Not really the point. But you can just use Eriott's hyper beams and basically get what -6 sync countdown in total, just from the base action it does plus the -2 there from the 2 uses of her buddy move. That's not even considering the fact that at 5/5 she can restore uses of her buddy move as well as the one that gives special move Break, right? So that can be extremely good for those setups. I think the thing that's kind of turning me off of Eriott, not for like the fact that she's like bad or her team's bad, definitely not. More so she's got, I would say, less partners that she can make good utilization of than Volo. Because Volo, again, as a setup, you can definitely run him as a tank, or run, I guess maybe Renegade Cynthia, but mostly Volo as a tank. Again, go watch my Ghost Tower video. It basically says it all there. You can run him as a tank and then have your big damage dealers be, you know, Celine, the Cynthia here. You can run Renegade Cynthia, you know, Summer Gardenia, whoever, right? You can run all these characters, Costume Merida, all really good options with Volo tanking. Or, you know, if you don't want Volo tanking, you don't want to take a lot of damage, you have a free option in Jim Fantina who is really good. Sinnoh Circle, mini potions, defensive buffs here, Astonish Aggravation for flinching, NPR on the trainer move, something right there if you want to get extra defensive buffs there, Master Healer and NPR on mini potions. There is a lot of first sync move, team HP recovery 1, 20% HP recovery on her first sync move. She's got good ways to keep the allies alive and make sure they get some good power ups. 20% power right here, extra physical and special moves up next on the circle setting, adrenaline 1 for some sync countdown so you don't have to mess around with that too much, first aid 4 for some healing for herself. This character is really good, and if you don't want to run her, you can run Summer Acerola if you do have access to her. She is also still really good. You know, Ghost has options for damage, for tanks, for utility, zone setters. You know, we got Summer Gardenia, Renegade Cynthia, Celine right there. You know, there's a lot of solid options that you can run for different roles. Poison is pretty locked tight. Eriott is your core. You have to run pretty much Gita or Roxy for other EX Poison Zone, or for extension of EX Poison Zone, rather. Iris is not good. I'm sorry. At least until she can maybe EX roll next month and grid expansion, something like that. You know, maybe, probably not, maybe. But other than that, you know, it's just these two. And then Atticus is a support. You're not running any of these guys. This character doesn't look awful, but she doesn't have a lot of the disruption like Fantina does to be super helpful for poison, especially not like how Atticus does. He's got flinches, right? So those are so good. It's like the options that poison has is so much more limited, and, you know, maybe in that case it makes Eriott even more worth going for because, you know, teams are so limited, but honestly not really, because you still do need another option to like keep extending her poison zone unless you're doing super short fights. But for like tower, longer ultimate battles, these bigger, stronger fights typically, and, you know, the way the game's going to move, I doubt they're going to make fights any shorter, at least not significantly shorter to where it would really make a massive difference. You know, Eriott is going to want one of these guys for a battery. You know, that's her biggest thing. And by the way, Sigmasu Roxy is not even that great of a battery until she gets to 10 out of 5. 10 out of 5, dude, okay? And then and other than that, it's just Gita, who's a good option. But it's Gita, and she's a Master Fair, and she just rerun. And if you don't have Gita, she's not coming back for a while. Unless you picked her up on the Tiered Scout, which is your complete and only other option at that point. But point is that I think that it mostly comes down to, I think Volo is just a better unit kind of in general, but I also do think it comes down to partners you've got available to them. Whereas, you know, you can say Eriott's partners at their peak are stronger, because Sigmasu Roxy is insane at her peak. But if you want to talk about like accessibility and the typical average Joe's ability to actually get their partners, I think Volo definitely takes the cake in that regard, with one of his partners literally potentially being free, and the other partner, you know, he's got like 3 potential sub options for Ghost Zone setters and stuff, with all of them being quite competent and to varying degrees, but all in their own right. Also, if we want to take a look at their banners, again, Eriott is so good to actually help enhance her, and pretty good in general. Gloria's is fine. Celine's really good, but blue kind of sucks. Red's banner kind of sucks. Brendan's like a good dragon option, especially for the tower, but he doesn't serve to enhance red specifically all that much. And then while Ray and Akari also don't tend to enhance Volo too much, they're also not too bad for characters. I would put them of a similar caliber to like Signasu Brendan, though again, Signasu Brendan kind of takes up a different role to where he is like the only really good special dragon support. No, we're not including Samson Oak. I said good dragon support, okay? I'm not forgetting any like crazy dragon support, am I? I don't think I am. This Iris is okay, I guess, for Lodge. You know, for being a Lodge unit, she's honestly not that awful. But yeah, pretty much that's just Signasu Brendan after that. Yeah, Signasu Brendan. That's pretty much it. So I guess Red's banner does help with that. And Ray and Akari, again, by their own, or like on their own teams and stuff, are not that bad either. They don't really serve to enhance Volo though. And Ray, you can definitely kick out of the fighting team. I think he'll definitely put some good help in for the physical stages of the fighting tower, but all of fighting is physical, so I don't really think many people are going to struggle too much for options there. And Akari is so far, I think, still our best option for like Dark Zone and stuff, but we're really got to see how like the EX Dark Zone setter is going to shape up to see like where her value truly ends up kind of laying. I would imagine though she's still got a lot of good capability in her though, so honestly not a bad banner. But overall, again, I don't really think things change too much. Gloria, Red, and then interchange Eriott and Volo. I personally think Volo above Eriott at this point, but that's just my opinions. Again, let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Go for who you want to first and foremost, whether you want to go for Gloria because she's the best or because you like her, or if you just don't want to go for her and you want to go for like Volo instead, do that. I mean, that's the best thing you can do, is follow whatever you like to do the most. Just talking like pure efficiency wise, you're going to get a lot of mileage out of all these characters, Gloria especially, being able to fit on like every friggin' team for pretty much no other reason other than just being the best enhancer in the game outside of like literal EX zone setters, which we look at Lacey, doesn't really mean much if you don't have other stuff in your kit. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Volo and Eriott and their placement, I guess, against each other. Doesn't really matter though. But yeah, I'll see you later. Hope you all enjoyed. Peace.